the next thing we have to talk about is what happens if we have some part of our area below the x-axis. All the examples we've done so far, our graph's been up here above the x-axis and we found this area. What happens when it dips below? All right, now we're getting area down here. And the basic idea is that we're going to call this a negative area. So in general, if you're finding the area of a circle, it doesn't make sense for it to be negative. Once we start making connections with integrals to position, velocity, all that stuff, negative values will actually make sense because the area itself is just a relationship with something else. So it actually will make sense to talk about negative areas. And those are all the areas that are below the x-axis. So if I had some random curve, the spots below the x-axis, those are going to be negative. The spots above the x-axis, those are going to be positive areas. So we want to find the integral from -2 to 4, and our function is just x. We can look at what that graph looks like. This graph is just the diagonal line. I'm going to find the area from -2 to 4. So at -2, I go towards my graph. At 4, I go towards my graph. And I can see I have this area down here and that area over there. But the area below the x-axis is going to be negative. So this area is going to be negative. This is a 2 by 2 triangle, which means when I find the area, that's going to be -2. So that's a -2 area because there's an area 2 below the x-axis. Here's a 4 by 4 triangle, so that area is going to be 8. And again, since it's above the x-axis, it's going to be a positive area. So I have a +8 triangle, a -2 triangle. Those combined give me an area of 6. All right, one more example like this. Now we have our graph is 2x. Which just means, again, I start at the y-axis on 2, and then my slope is 2. So it's going to be a little bit sharper graph. But I'm going to start at -3, go down towards my graph. This gives me one area. Go to +3, go up to my graph. That gives me another area. And now we can find these two. Again, we're going to do them separately because one's going to be a negative area, one's going to be a positive area. This one is a 3 by 6 triangle, which is going to give me a area of -9. This one is also a 3 by 6 triangle, so that's going to give me an area of 9. I have a -9 area and a +9 area. They actually just cancel out and give me 0. So it is actually possible to find an area and get 0 because you have these negative things canceling out, giving you a 0 area. Pretty much these two things are just going to be the exact opposite of each other and cancel out.